Monday morning. All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy February 19th. Coming to you a little congested, but I feel good. It's just in my head area. It's probably the weather. We took some walks yesterday outside, and so it's part of it. Every single time I do 75-day hard, I tend to get some type of, not flu, some type of cold because I'm outside in the elements. But hey, that's part of it. But I'm committed to this thing no matter what. So let's go ahead and get rolling. You guys got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We should have a smaller group, which I'm actually stoked about because it's a Monday, it's a holiday officially. I know that some people will be taking the day off, but nonetheless, we're going to go full tilt for the time I have with you guys. So, Aaron, Chris, I'm going to turn it over to you. And here's a couple things that I've learned about you as of late. And the only way I know this is because I've seen it on your social media. I didn't realize you had such a huge affinity towards music. Him and I were going back and forth the other day about music, about reggae, and it's really cool to start to see how your passions are showing up in your content. And I think people will start to associate, oh, this dude loves music. He's a human. He's a father, right? He's a lender. He's a realtor. So I like seeing this part of you because it allows us to get a little bit closer in proximity to who you are as a person. And so I'm digging it, my man. So I'm gonna have you take us out on the field on this beautiful Monday morning. So kick us off, start the sentiment, and let's hear from you, Aaron Chris.
Thanks for noticing that. I do feel like I'm evolving. I'm acknowledging that I do have something to put out in the world, and all of you, I would encourage you to do the same. I mean, sometimes it's hard, and sometimes we feel like we're uninteresting or we have nothing to share with the world. But as Elias has been pointing out over, this whole time I've been with you guys, that we all have something to share with the world. We all have some kind of inspiration, or just we can just share ourselves, and that's inspiration enough. So just keep pushing, keep trying to work through each one of those barriers that you have, and never stop doing that. Just one foot in front of the other. So I would just encourage everybody that even when it feels like you got nothing interesting to share, or you're having blocks because you have fear or trepidation, anxiety, just keep moving forward, because it's amazing. We start to shut ourselves down, but if you just push forward a little more, it becomes easier and easier. And I'm still struggling. I'm still working on it, but I'm committed to continuing to try to share my story, share myself with the rest of the world. And I encourage all of you to do the same.
Oh man, I absolutely love that. Absolutely. How many people resonate with that message? Please raise your hand if you resonate with that message. All right, cool, you guys. I figured as much. So let's go ahead and get rolling. And it speaks to exactly what I wrote in my notes. In a moment here, we're going to go through wins. I want 5 people to share what their wins were from last week. I want 3 people to share what their challenges were. And I'm going to have Judith pull up something that's called Home. I want you guys to go in there, track your numbers if you are a part of the team. If not, it will not be applicable, that part of it. But there's a book, I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'm sure you guys have read it, or some of you have read it, The Gap in the Gain. Please give me a show of hands if anybody has read that book. All right, cool. So a couple people. Demian, I think that put this in your, everyone put this in your rotation, but I know Demian is an avid reader. So I want to share with you about really reflecting, because oftentimes when we're in this business, we're trying to achieve something. And I get that. Listen, you guys, I want you to have your goals. I want you to have your aspirations, and I want you constantly reaching for something. But that doesn't mean that that thing, that accomplishment, that achievement, that milestone is necessarily going to make you happy, right? How many of us have ever received an award or accomplished a goal that we set out for ourselves, and the moment was all right, but it was really like just underwhelming, right? Like, all right, cool, I did that. But all the time that it took me, the work, the project management, all the time that I spent in that goal, that's what brought me the most excitement. And so what's cool about this book is it talks about removing ourselves from the gap, meaning like, oh, when I sell 20 homes, I'm going to have that level of success. When I have 1,500 followers, I'm going to feel happy. When I'm in that relationship, I'm finally going to be happy. No, everything that you're doing right now, look at all the things that you've been able to accomplish up to this point. We have top performers on this call. We have people that are still in search for their first deals. I want to share some thoughts with you. It comes directly from the books. And it says, from the book, it says, you're here and you love being here. You love what your life is like. You're blown away by your gains. And I want you to look at your gains over this last year and start to really reflect on all the things that you've actually done, who you've become, who you've been able to touch, who you've been able to impact as a result of you just growing and learning as a human being. You appreciate everything and everyone around you. You're genuinely happy. You're working and building. You're committed and focused. Be here and be present. Good friend of mine, Sharon, in the business says, be where your feet are, meaning that everything that you're experiencing right now, the good, bad, and ugly, soak that all in. Soak that all in. We're constantly looking at, oh my God, once I have that, I'll feel this. I promise you guys, if you look at everything that you have gone through, all the gain, and the gain sometimes is the hardest shit. It is the times that are beating you up. It's the times when you're taking the most knocks on the chin. But in those moments, what did you learn about yourself? How did you grow as a woman? How'd you grow as a man? How'd you grow as a human being? And really focus on the things that are in the gain, not the gap. The gap means, oh, that's the distance that I have to travel to be happy. Fuck that. Everything that we need right now is a reflection of ourselves to say, you know what? I'm pretty damn happy. I got a lot of things going for me in my life. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm pushing, I'm developing my skills, I'm getting better at my presentation, I'm making better relationships, my face is seen, I'm creating some fame, I got some followers. I don't care if you have 5 followers or 5,000 followers. 5 people think that you're cool. 5 people think that you're cool. So we're not chasing an algorithm. I'm not chasing success. I'm really, really pleased with where I'm at right now. And whatever I have to go through over the course of the next 5, 10 years, like I'm here for it. So stop chasing and stop needing, right? Have you ever met somebody that told you that they needed you in a relationship? And listen, you guys, I love my wife, I love my family, but need means like, oh my God, I need that person to be happy. No, I want that person in my life. I want to be constantly showing up for that person, keeping the spice of it, right? I want that. I don't need somebody. There's fucking codependency, right? I want that relationship so bad that I'm constantly going to be looking for the good, and showing up in a different way. So that's my sentiment of the day, you guys. The Gap in the Gain is an amazing book. If you're looking for a read, tap into that book. I'm obviously reading a ton right now because I'm forced to because of the challenge. But I love it because it's pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. So be present, be where you are. Wanting empowers you. Wanting empowers you, right? I want to do these things because I want to learn. I want to face adversity. I want to get knocked on the chin. I want to fall down every single day. I want that because I know how it's going to build me as a human being. So that's my thoughts. That's what I said to me, you guys. Let's get right into coaching. You guys with me so far? All right, cool. I've been doing some writing this morning. So let's do this. I want to hear from 5 people. Go ahead and get yourself in the queue. I want to hear your wins from last week and then thoughts if you've read this book or if you have anything that you want to share. So let's go. I need 5 people in the queue, and I'm not going to go forward until I have 3 more hands up. All right, cool. Perfect. Cool. I got a front line. And then if I have anybody else, I'll call on you. Sierra, we're going to go to you. If for some reason the audio gets choppy, I'm just going to have you cut your camera. But let's go, Sierra. Start us off on this beautiful, amazing Monday morning. Let's go.
Good morning. I'm
Good morning.
cutting my thinking that it might be better anyways. So actually in the 10X book, it was talking about the gap in the gain. And damn, I was like, I have been living in the freaking gap. And I was always looking at the horizon, what everybody else is doing, and nothing was ever attainable. You can't ever reach that. So anyways, being in the gain is way better, just saying. And my win for last week was I'm doing a plant swap on March 2nd in my community, and I had a community garden reach out to me and asked to collaborate. So I'm door knocking with half of the flyer on a market update in my neighborhood, half of the flyer on the other side is on the plant swap that I'm doing. And it's great because it gives me conversation, something I can talk to people about. And I'm super excited because it's something I'm into. And honestly, since I've gotten into real estate, I'm just hyper focused on real estate and I haven't really been doing my hobbies, which is fine. But this gives me a break where I'm also working on real estate but also get to dive into my hobbies a little bit more.
Ah, I love this. I love this. Great stuff, Sierra. I'm not sure what a plant swap is, and so I want to probably take this offline and know more about that. But great stuff. I love this wins. Blessing. You texted me the other day. I forgot what day it was, Saturday or Sunday or Friday. I don't know which day it was, but I know one business win that you've had. But go ahead, take the mic. Share with everybody.
So I love the book, The Gap and the Gain, because, and again, full transparency, I will always, come from my experiences, is that a friend of mine was saying that if you want a way to get out of anxiety, if you want to, kind of quelch that overwhelm, focus on the gain, because the gap is where you create the anxiety, the worry, the focus, the I gotta go. You create all of this nervous tension in your body because you're so focused on what's happening ahead of you that you absolutely have no control over. But if you stay looking at what you've done, like the inch by inch progression, that's actually where we create momentum. That's where we get our energy and our fulfillment. And everything about this business is creating momentum. So yes, on Saturday, I did send you the text. I just sent another listing agreement for signing. I'm super stoked about it because it came from someone who was in the business, had to step away, that I've just genuinely been supporting from an energy perspective. So being able to just be mindful of the fact that if you put good thoughts out there for people and you just keep doing the actions that associate that move that forward or in line with that, you'll create the activities, that you'll get the results based on your activity. So if you just stay present, you're just committed to your goals and stay in alignment and authentic to yourself, they'll work. So I did get the listing agreements. It's out for signing. I did submit another offer last night for my clients. I found a property for another client. It's just like that momentum of looking at the steps of everything I've been doing. It's starting to show me that you cannot control the results. You cannot focus on, I need to close 2 houses, because you'll have that anxious energy. But look at the fact, I'm just going to practice my scripts. I got tagged in there. If you just show up in a way that's in alignment with yourself, and the only thing you can control is the way you show up. On the flip side, I will say, please, everyone, put some rest into your schedule. Burnout is real, and especially when you are in that momentum and you keep going, it'll catch up to you real quick. So just find a half a day every week. If you can't take a week, if you can't take a day a week, but take that time. It is incredibly important. So that's
Yes.
what I've got this week.
It's been really incredible to watch this kind of like this evolution. I think that this is who you are, but at first, obviously, I'm just getting to know you. We're just getting to know you. But it seems like you have just really, really come alive in the last couple months, and you've been able to express yourself at a very high level. And it's really great to see. And I'm glad that you brought this up about, I know that oftentimes we want to work our asses off and we want to obsess, right? And you'll hear that, right? Obsess. I believe that that could be super, super unhealthy, right? It's okay to just chill and relax and not to have to obsess every single day. And you could find that rhythm, and that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay. When you shut down, you can shut down. It's okay not to think about your business for a few hours. It's okay to go away and not have any cell service and relax and like literally be out of pocket. That's really healthy. And if you can't do that, then your business is not a business. If you can't slip away for 10 hours and like not worry about anything, then your business is probably not where it should be, because you don't have the right leverage. So Blessing, absolutely love this. Let's go to George. We'll go to Aaron. We'll go to Hugo. We'll go to Demian. Let's go, George.
What's up, everyone, and happy Monday. So for me, a personal win last week would have to be that I booked myself a massage. And it was one I actually just told myself to completely release and enjoy, because last month I got a massage, but I talked the entire time to the lady. This time I've knocked out. Right? This time I knocked out, woke up with a drool all over the floor, so it was great. A business win, I got a $1.8 million listing signed, which would be my highest in my career so far. The lead is my grandparents, but it wasn't as easy as you might think. Actually, my grandparents were not going to use me because they were like, it'd be tougher to work with family and we wouldn't want any conflict. So instead, I started posting a lot more and just sharing with them because they're not on social media a ton. All of my videos showing them the closes that I got just over the last couple of months. And then 2 weeks ago, they called me and were like, yo, come over. We want to chat more because the house is actually my aunt and uncle's name, but it's actually my grandparents. So my aunt and uncle didn't want me to profit from the sale. So they were going to choose my uncle's friend, but my grandparents were like, yo, George has a great network. George is chatting with more developers that he could sell this land to. So George is going to come on Tuesday and you're just going to sign the contract. So my grandparents
Wow.
basically, yeah, so my grandparents basically pushed my aunt and uncle to have to go with me, but they said that they saw my development over the last year and that they really wanted to use me. But instead, the catch was that I do bring a partner on just in case. Like that way, my partner could deal with them and I deal with all the other stuff. So that's where a partnership definitely comes in handy. And let's see, there was one more that I had. Oh, I pushed myself out of my comfort zone and went to like a $5 million new construction Twilight tour the other day. And I networked with developers and stuff. So possibly gonna partner with a developer and what's it called? A lender that does 100% financing to chat about 100% financing on my grandparents' house to see if we can partner with a developer that will knock down the house, build a completely new construction, and possibly sell it for more.
Wow. Absolutely love this. Absolutely love this. And congrats to you. Is it the house that you were living at with them for all those years?
Yeah, it's a bittersweet because it's my childhood home that we're
Wow.
selling, and it's like a compound where everyone in my family lives. So it's a bittersweet moment because it's like I just moved from Heber to Antioch in September, and it's like, damn, it's kind of like that's like the family compound. But I'm excited for
Wow.
everyone in my family for their new chapter.
Yeah, man. Well, congratulations. And a little bit about that Twilight tour. Obviously, I saw it over all over social media. That's like literally next level. When you think about Mercedes was there, they had a Maybach for people to be able to drive, and like, just with the thought and the preparation for that Twilight tour, absolutely next level. So George, absolutely love it. Let's go, Aaron Chris. Let's go Demi, and then we'll go Hugo. Let's go, Aaron Chris. Wins from last week.
Well, last week I felt like I was winning. My move the needle was I was writing an offer and that offer got accepted. So that's the first one since I joined the team. I'm pretty pumped about that. And then personally, like my goddaughter got married on Saturday. And that was a beautiful experience. And I really was feeling full with that. And then just with my health and what Blessing was saying about taking some time for yourself so you don't burn out. I always struggled. My mom has been trying to get me to meditate for years. And so I'd say just since I joined this team, I've been doing things, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, taking cold showers, going to the gym and stuff like that. But I've also been trying to meditate, but it has been one of those things where it's hard to calm your mind, right? But I just kept sticking to it. Like I was saying in just keep doing it. Even if you can't calm your mind, it doesn't mean you should stop. And last week was the first week where I felt like the whole week I was able to legit meditate and like feel like, okay, I'm clearing my mind. I'm channeling whatever energy that is. And so overall, I think that there was a lot of different things last week that seemed like groundbreaking. I don't know if that's the right word, but I can feel myself evolving. And so overall, that's where I'm at.
Man, congratulations. Now, obviously, Aaron's not new to real estate. He's, embarking in a different side, obviously. Congratulations. Tell us a little bit about your deal. Where was the family from? How did you meet these people? Let's get a little context here.
Well, it's funny because it's an old friend. I worked with her in the mortgage industry a long time ago. I'm actually in reflection, I'm actually feeling pretty good about myself because all these people had kids a long time ago and they chose to make me their godfather, which I feel like I'm like, especially back then, I was like all over the place, I was drinking and partying and being crazy. And so there's something about me that all these people felt connected enough to make me their child's godfather. So I am her daughter's godfather, and I just have known her for over 20 years. And she's always known me for mortgage. Me and her baby's father lived together for a bunch of years, and And I was just talking to her about buying. Well, she was talking to me about buying a house, and I was like, "Well, who are you working with?" And then she just like, "I guess you. Like you're doing it." And so I started searching for her, and I found out about Lodi too. Like I made this offer in Lodi because of her price point. Her price point had her in Vallejo. She was all concerned about safety and this and that. I said, "Well, why don't we look in like San Joaquin County or something like that?" And I took her to Lodi. We had coffee in downtown Lodi. We were walking the neighborhood. My mind is blown. Like when I used to go to Lodi as a kid, it was just all grapevines. I only went to that part of Lodi. I never went downtown Lodi. I never saw the actual city. So I was able to experience that. And she fell in love with this little house. Her daughter's off in college now. And so she just needed a 1-bedroom, 1-bath house in a nice, safe, quiet area. And I think we found it. And so yeah, that
I
was it.
love it, bro. Well, congratulations to you. Congratulations to her. Lodi is a cute little town. It's crazy. It's crazy how cute it is. Crazy how expensive it is. I didn't think so. My wife works for the Lodi Association Realtor, so she's there every single day. So congratulations. Let's go, Demian. Let's go to you. Then we'll go back to Hugo. Let's go, Demian. There it
Good,
is.
good morning. Yeah, I had to find that mute button. Yeah, this week was a lot of wins, which was really cool. I got invited to do a realtor roundtable at KW in San Francisco for Black History Month, which was a really cool, great conversation. A lot of good topics that I didn't even think I was walking into. I left from there and handed keys to a client that just closed on their condo in San Jose. Another cool honor. These kids are going crazy, so I'm trying to hurry up. But then yesterday I reached out to a friend. He was doing an estate sale. He recently lost his mom. And I seen on Facebook he was doing an estate sale, and I was very hesitant about even reaching out to him about what he was going to do with her house. But I just told him, if you need any help with the estate sale, moving anything, just let me know. I'm around. Because I knew him back when he was living with his mom as an adult, and just a hard time for him. But then I added in, have you guys thought about what you're going to do with the house? And he was like, I wanted to talk to you about that. I think we're going to sell it, and I want to talk to you. So today I have a listing appointment to go help him sell his mom's house. But yesterday, also another close friend from high school, her grandparents passed in 2021. She ironically texted me after I had this conversation with the other friend, saying that she wants help selling the grandparents' house that's been sitting vacant for 3 years in Vacaville. And so 2 listings essentially in one day. I don't have anything signed yet, but these are very, very close friends, and I believe they really do want to use me. But the point of these wins that I'm talking about is that it's because of the visibility that I've been giving people over the past year or months or whatever, to let them know what I do. Because previous to this, people weren't calling me. They were bypassing me and going to other agents and not using me as their listing agent or their buyer's agent because they just didn't know what I did. And I know it's not coincidental that I've been posting all this content that people are calling me now to help them with real estate needs. So yeah, huge wins yesterday with those lists.
Man, I absolutely love this. And for Blessing and for Demian, if you guys have, a potential coming soon, if you guys want to drop some information down below, just to say, hey, I reached out to some of my team members or some people I know in the industry, and I got some, some positive responses back, like feel free to drop that in the chat below. Let's go, Hugo. Congratulations to you, Demian. Let's go, Hugo. A quick update from you. Biggest wins from last week.
Good morning, guys. So I had three good wins. The first one was a video that I did regarding the 49ers parade like 2 weeks ago, which is it wasn't even relevant last week. It just like blew up. It brought my account from 1,000 accounts engaged to 4.5 thousand. So out of nowhere, it just blew up. So that was pretty good. Just got to keep on posting. And then the second win that I had was that script that we practiced, Elias, the follow-up open house script. I was able to do a buyer's consultation with that one. So that was good. And then the last one was that with the script that you told me on circle prospecting on the phones, I was able to reach a seller in Vallejo. It was a little bit of a hurdle. There's a hurdle because there's a language barrier. but he said he's right now interested in leaving to Benicia. He does want to sell, so I'm thinking about, door knocking the area and trying to catch him so we can have that face to face, because I think that will maybe lessen the language barrier. But yeah, these are the wins.
Man, I absolutely love this, and way to take action. And sometimes you just never know what's going to hit. Like you'll post something, then you'll be your worst critic, and you're like, wow, that thing hit. So I want to share this with you before we get into any of our challenges of the week. So I posted something. I just used Canva template, and I said here that the hype of the new year is over. All you're left with is your habits, your behaviors, discipline, and consistency. If you're being real with yourself, how are you doing? Making progress? Are you still getting ready to get ready? The action you choose to take dictates the level of success you are experiencing currently. I want you to be real with that question, you guys. Like literally look at everything that you've done this year, right? I don't need a new year to keep myself in momentum. I don't need that. But you have to say, have I started this year off and have I stayed true to my disciplines, to my habits, and have I been consistent? Or have I already fallen off? So you guys have to have that conversation with yourself. Let's do this, you guys. Let's get 3 people in the queue for challenges. Is there anything right now that you are challenged with? Something that you faced last week? Was there a hard conversation that you had with the buyer, with the seller? Was there something you were challenged with time management, organization, priorities? I don't know what it is, but I feel when we share our challenges here, you'll hear that somebody on the call is doing it at a very high level and they're winning and they're succeeding with that challenge. So it's important that we throw those things out here. So I need 3 people to get in the queue to share what their biggest challenges were from last week. So I have Caesar. Who else wants to share a challenge from last week? Anybody else? All right, cool, Natalie. And then let's get one more in the queue. Don't be shy. This is group coaching for a reason. All right, I'm going to wait for one more hand to go up, because everybody faced challenges last week. I faced challenges last week. Cool. Let's go, Caesar. Start us off, bro. Biggest challenge from last week.
Yeah, so I had a meeting with you, and pretty much the way it went is I told you, is that, hey, I'm a little busy. I'm still going to school. I got my 9 to 5, and I'm also doing real estate. And you said it's always about taking that time you always have to make that time. Everything has, enough time for. So I kind of saw it as like, man, like I'm not sure if I'll be able to complete all the tasks I need to for this week. But it's kind of, for me, it was just taking it day by day and looking at one task at a time and what kind of task can I do in order to give myself more time in the future. So the way I saw it was showing 5 listings last week, and I just made time for it. After work, I decided, hey, I'm just gonna go real quick. I work in the Fremont area. Let's go tour some Fremont properties, and it ended up working out. I completed everything on my task, and I kind of just seeing it day by day, task by task. How big or how small, it's just about completing something that day so that you stay progressing forward.
I love it. So the challenge was, so just so I understand, the question was, what was the challenge? The challenge was feeling like you're not able to do the things that you need to do to move your business forward. And then the win was you were actually able to do that. And to give you some credit, you posted more videos than you've probably posted in the last 6 months in just the last 5 days. So kudos to you, my man. Great job. Let's go over to Natalie, and then we'll go over to Aaron. Natalie, biggest challenge from last week.
I did have a conversation with you.
Natalie, I'm gonna have you cut your camera because your internet is spotty.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I had a conversation with you as well, and I felt like you just kind of put a mirror on me, and I'm realizing like what's holding me back, in terms of just my like day-to-day habits, and social media has been a big thing for me as an artist. I feel like I don't share myself at all as much as I should be. And then I finally created a new page for real estate, a new Instagram page for real estate. And honestly, the real estate part is a lot easier for me to share. And I don't know what was holding me back. I had all these things in my head that, the things we tell ourselves that we can't do something. But in reality, it's like, just do it. And it's not that scary in the end.
So Natalie,
yeah,
take us back for the people that don't know, Natalie, what was the challenge? Because I'm hearing the win. What I want to know is I'm hearing the win. It's weird. I'm getting some weird feedback from your line. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, you know what?
1 second. All right, and we're gonna move on because it's a weird audio. But the challenge with what Natalie was having is that she wants to know everything before she does, and so she was stuck in this perpetual cycle of thinking instead of doing. And now she said, you know, I'm just gonna start to do some things, and you're seeing the progress. So Natalie, great job! Shout out to you. Sorry the audio wasn't coming in clear. Let's go, Aaron, Chris. Aaron, Chris. Let's talk about challenges from the week.
I would say my challenges are probably time management, or it feels like time management. I feel pretty chaotic, and like to what you're saying, I feel like I'm always like, I got to get my systems. I got to get my systems. And so is part of me that is doing that, but then also the other part is just like, just do something, just keep doing something, be consistent, be on these calls, try to constantly grow. But I kind of feel like chaos. It feels kind of a little bit like chaos in the sense that part of me feels like I got to get my systems. I have my insecurities about social media and Instagram and putting myself out there that I'm working through. So that always consistently feels like it, but it feels like every other week or every other day, I'm like, I got to reset and restart what I'm doing. And so I would say that is a part. Internally, I feel like everything is chaotic. I do try to be consistent on showing up for these calls, showing up at the office, showing up in my work, but it doesn't seem controlled. It seems kind of chaotic the way my life and my mind is operating right now.
Okay, and all right, so I love this one. What we've done, thank you, Caesar, and thank you, Natalie. Now, what we've done is we've identified a challenge, right? And I know that there's people on this call that have gone through the chaos and have now a sense of rhythm, right? A rhythm, right? And so I want somebody to share like what's worked for them. How have they been able to mitigate the chaos? How have they been able to put a better flow into their week, into their life? Like, what's working for you right now to mitigate that chaos? Because the chaos leads to like angst, and then the angst leads to stress, and then the stress causes you to want to just unplug from everything. So who's got some advice, something that they want to share that's worked for them to get over the chaos? So I'm going to go Kaleem, and I think Blessing had put something in the chat. So let's go, Kaleem. I want to hear from you, and I'll be right back. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I will go back to 10x is better than 2x, because I do, of course, real estate. I do a little bit TV stuff. I have still 9 dogs who I'm looking homes for. I run an Airbnb. The house I live in, I'm like always spent. Like I was getting to a point 2 weeks ago where I will be walking to do one thing, I will literally forget. And I'm like, what's going on? What is going on? So I said, okay, I'm gonna hire an assistant again and have them deal with certain day-to-day tasks which I cannot do. And I did that last week, and I think that has truly affected my day-to-day. Like as you guys can see, I'm wearing this because I still get a little migraines. So it's the ice thing I put on so I can feel, calm. And also I was feeling a lot more anxious every single day that how I'm going to finish all these things in next few hours I have. So I already have, a day before stuff made, which I cannot work on. I have a list. So anybody who's coming to help me that day, they will go take care of it. And I stay focused on bigger and better things which can make me more money.
All right, I love that. I heard the 10x part and obviously caught the tail end of this. Aaron, here's what I want you to do is I want you to make a list and just write a list. It's really, really simple. I want you to write a list of your priorities in this business, right? And your priorities in life, right? It's obviously family time, probably working out. It sounds like you're getting a little bit more centered with your, connectivity to the universe or whatever we're going to call it. And then I want you to write down what your priorities are in your business and just make that list, right? And just write it down. And then what I want you to do is I want you to pull up your calendar. And I want you to match those, be like, okay, here's my priorities. And then here's the time that I'm spending weekly doing all the things that I know are actually important to me. And then look at your calendar and then ask yourself, am I actually doing the things that are priority to me in my life and business? Or is my chaos coming from shit that's not even feeding the purpose, right? Because what happens is oftentimes we find ourselves doing all these things. And if you don't have the reflection to look back on the calendar, then guess what? That's where you start to be like, okay, I reflected, I wrote down all my priorities, I did a time audit, and I looked back 2 weeks out of everything that I've done in my time and my calendar, and none of my priorities are there. And you wonder why you have chaos, right? Because you need to funnel everything in and be like, okay, I'm laser focused. Literally, I know that there's 5 things that I need to do every single week. And if it doesn't fit into what I'm actually trying to accomplish, I don't even put it on my calendar for the week. I say I got to push that out for the next week. So do a time audit. And this is a really, really healthy exercise. We do this occasionally through group coaching. Priorities list, time audit, look at all the things on your calendar and see if those match up. And if they don't, start to purge some of the shit that's not serving you and just put your priorities in. You'll find yourself a lot more focused and a lot more, in tune with what's actually going to move your needle. Let's go, Blessing.
I had put the comment in the chat that overthinking is what's going to create the paralysis. So when you're feeling super chaotic, especially about your schedule, I love the idea of what you just said, is because it's similar to what I posted a couple of weeks ago about doing a brain dump. Our brains are not designed to just hold on to all of these things and just process it. You've got to put it in writing because it gives you clarity. And interestingly enough, if you are someone who is a high achiever and you've got these really big goals, we tend to want to try to do as much as we can and learn as much as we can. But the way to actually get like peace and focus is to simplify, like keep the main thing, whatever your goal is, stay focused on that. And that's how you create this filter of, does it serve the main goal? I said it jokingly. I don't know if I shared it here, but my filter these days is, does it serve God and can I do it in pink? If I can answer yes to both of those questions, I'll try it because I don't want to limit myself and overthink. So with our schedules, you've got to look at like what's most important and stick to that. The shiny things will show up. This whole business and life is full of shiny squirrel moments. And the more you allow yourself to get distracted, you're actually devaluing your own opinion and your own focus. You're saying that the things that are important to me really aren't because this new thing came and it sounds good, so let me go do that. It's like, no, you've got what's meant, you got what you're focused on. And that's where you're going to create your attraction point. That's where you're going to start to create the momentum, is just by staying focused on the one thing. And it's so counterintuitive because we want to be so busy, but are we being effective when we're that busy? We might feel like we're getting a lot of things done. We might feel like we're crossing things off, but if you look at really what you're doing, you spent an hour last week doing cold calling or prospecting that's actually going to get you business. And we're at, like there's so many other things that we can do that feel like we're productive, but they're truly just busy work. So just keeping the main thing and simplifying as much as possible. Again, recognizing that we're not machines. You can't do everything. We're just literally not wired to do it. So take 3 things. Let that be your win for the day. And if you get to 4, celebrate.
Love this. Absolutely love it. Love it. I'm going to share something with you guys. This is so crazy how old this is, but it's still applicable. This is before Keep It Moving even had a name, right? This is how old school this is. And so, Aaron, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, so this is prior to group coaching even having a name, and obviously this has been around for going on 3 years now. It's on the strength of observation and reflection that one finds a way. So we must dig and delve unceasingly. How crazy that you just said it. I searched time audit and I was able to find this this little presentation. What is the hardest part about being a real estate professional? I think that time management, that happens for most of us. And also what I hear is the imposter syndrome. I think that those 2 things are something that comes up all the time. What do you believe is your highest and best use of your time? If you did a time audit, a time versus priorities, and you're spending the majority of your time on your priorities, or if you're not, why not, right? And that's the same question I just asked you. What do you need to know now if you're growing? What are the skills you wish to attain that you currently do not have? That would make your work more effective, right? When you say systems, what does that mean? How effective is your calendar? Or do you have alerts? Do you spend the time planning, prepping, preparing? Are you writing everything out? Like, what do you need to know in your system that's going to actually serve you? So, what's the most scary part for you? Which outcomes or interactions are you trying to avoid thinking about, and why? And if you were to prioritize your time, learn the skills you desire to be more effective, face your fears, and create a crystal clear vision for your business, close your eyes for a moment, future cast with me. How does your business look in 5 years from now? Who in your life has been positively impacted, and who have you become? You guys, I said this message 3 years ago, and it still rings true today. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that our priorities are in direct alignment with what we're actually spending our time on, right? Because what happens is that we're chasing it sometimes when it's just like, no, like Blessing said, I need to focus on 3 to 5 things right now that are going to actually move my needle. So I really appreciate this conversation. Let me ask you guys, how many of you have completed last week, excuse me, how many people on the call completed their home tracker last week if you were actually on the team? Please raise your hand if you completed your home tracker. All right, cool. If you haven't, please do that. You'll find that in your email this morning. You'll also find it in the Team Fast exclusive channel. And also, Judith, if you can, just drop that down below in the chat. I want you guys to make sure that you're doing that. How many people are clear on what needs to happen in order for them to move their needle this week? Please raise your hand if you're clear on your goals for the week. All right, cool. I see some hands up. Lisa Torres, let's go over to you really quick. What are the goals for this week? What's going to move your needle? It's Monday morning. I want to hear from you. What does that actually look like?
Good morning. So one is realizing that I haven't been touring houses the way I should. So getting that done more. That's on my schedule. And
So
then
hold on. When you say doing that more, give me a number. What do you mean by doing that more? How many homes are you going to actually preview this week?
at least 5, the goal is 15.
All right. So I believe that that's an easy number to hit. Awesome. I love that for you. And then while you're out there, create tons and tons of content. What else? What else is going to move your needle this week?
I also sat down and finally really looked at my numbers because I had a business plan and I had prospecting hours and things to do. But when I ran back, took a look at it again, it didn't make any sense because I had things that were overlapping, things that I was doing that was scheduled the same day. I finally realized, okay, so Monday, Wednesday, I am going to call the NODs that I have. On Thursday, I'm going to circle prospect the open houses that I have scheduled for Saturday and Sunday. And then also make sure that I'm getting my open houses done. So if I don't find an open house in my ideal location, I have to go out to the next best location and just get it done.
Cool. I love this. So there's some clarity behind what she's actually going to do this week. It's Monday. It's not that we're going through this by chance. Like, I know what's going to happen this week. Who else? Who else wants to share what their map is this week that's going to move their needle in their business? Anybody else want to share? Because I think we could gain strength from one another. Anybody going once? Anybody going twice? Don't be shy. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, so I know the last few weeks as this has picked up, I've definitely felt a little jumbled. So one thing that I'm going to do today and this week is my focus is to basically put all of my active clients and my coming soon listings, as well as creating like an actual checklist and flow for them in Trello, either Trello or I'm still deciding between what's the other one, Notion, to build out like an actual checklist, because right now they're kind of just like living in my head. So that's my main focus. And then also I kind of fell behind on property tours. So my goal is to go to at least 2 different brokers tours. I think I'm going to go to the Walnut Creek and the Danville one Tuesday and Thursday.
Beautiful, beautiful. So if you guys are not out previewing homes, go out and preview homes. Whether you're a top performing agent or whether you're just starting out, You guys need to show the consumers that you know the market, you know trends, you know color patterns when it comes to paint, you know design aesthetics, you know neighborhoods, you are current as to, you understand the market at a very high level. You guys, previewing properties should be a non-negotiable for everybody. If you're driving, you're like, oh shit, there's a sign on it. Cool. I'm just going to check the MLS really quick. I'm going to go check out that property and make a quick video. It's such a great opportunity for you guys to build your confidence on how you tour properties and also create some great content. So George, I love that for you. Anybody else want to share? Go ahead.
By the way, can I add something to that? Sorry. So I actually got a client back in December and closed them with Denita just from touring properties. They were buyers that had no agent and they thought there was an open house. And by chance, we were like, do you want to check it out and just open it for them? And they ended up going with us and we closed them. So definitely tour the properties like Elias is saying and record the content. Because if you have nothing in the pipeline right now, it at least shows people that you're busy and you're doing things and they can determine whether or not you're closing or not. You can post all those videos and they'll think you're closing like 10 deals and you might not have anything, but it's the perception. So just get out there and do it and make those connections because some of those agents on broker tours are going to have off markets, or you can get those higher end open houses.
That's right. That's right. You guys think about the psychology of a buyer that they constantly see Aaron Crisp and saying, even if he's not with the client, what's going on, you guys? I am touring this beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath located in Danville. Let's go take a look. It's situated on a cul-de-sac. This property is beautiful. It's on an acre lot. Let's go take a look. Right? That gives the consumer an illusion that he's out touring. And that is such good content for you guys. I cannot tell you how important that is. Like I was saying, it's good for social, but then it's good for you to see what these houses look like, understand the inventory, design aesthetics, and all of the above. So great stuff, George. Let's go to Sierra.
Okay, so every week I'm door knocking and hosting open houses as well as brokers tours. But one of the things I realized, I was in Pleasanton this last weekend for a open house, and you know, it's great to do a little bit of research on the area, but even door knocking, you just learn so much about the neighborhood, talking to people. And I think one of the things that I want to start incorporating, I'm actually gonna just hearing George talk, I was like, you know what I need to do? I need to start doing broker tours outside of the area that I know, because I know Oakland, I know Alameda. Yeah, there's like, of course, more I can learn, but honestly, like going to Walnut Creek, going to Pleasanton, Dublin, these are places that I want to work. And I don't know the neighborhoods as well as these. So that's one of my goals for this week is, hey, get out there, go to neighborhoods that I don't know, learn about them, do research, do video. And then in my pipeline for the future, I want to start imagining YouTube, and I'm going to start incorporating neighborhoods into YouTube. That's a little ways away, but the thought process is starting.
I love it. I love it. And you guys, when you guys go to brokers tour, it's a lot of the time, it's really like premier high level listing agents and communities, right? And so what you're also doing is you're doing recon. You're grabbing the flyers, you're looking at what they're doing for marketing, and you're really just observing and you're doing recon to say, okay, wow, I love how they had the flyer. Oh, they had a 3-fold flyer, or oh, the QR code led me to this, or this is how they set up their welcome to whatever it is. Like you guys have an opportunity to go and learn and jack ideas to put into your own flow when you're doing open houses and when you're putting new listings on the market. So you guys, previewing properties and brokers tour, it serves so many areas of your business. So good stuff, you guys. So let's start to come full circle on this conversation. Appreciate all your contributions today. Let's do this. Let's go over to Taylor Van Buskirk. Taylor, tell us 1, 2 takeaways from our time together today. Let's hear from you, and then we'll go to Natalie. We'll go to a couple other people. Let's go, Taylor.
Yeah, so I am a newly licensed agent, just starting my mentorship. And I definitely feel like this last week, I've been feeling really overwhelmed with how to kind of like allocate my time. And I'm working a lot with Joellen, and she's super busy. And so she's throwing all these great ideas my way. And I'm just trying to figure out kind of how to place them and where to start. So everything that Blessing has said today is like really resonated with me. I'm sitting here now, I'm just going to go day by day and, allocate each little thing that I need to do this week. like on a pen and paper. So that way I can kind of have an overview of my week without getting overwhelmed, and I can feel like I'm accomplishing things. And so, yeah, I just was like sitting here writing my goals. And so it's just kind of teaching me where to prioritize, where to start. Cause it's like I have all these great ideas. I'm trying to tackle social media. I want to go out there and I want to view listings. I also am in the works of planning my first few events. So I think my main takeaway is just learning from all you guys how to allocate my time and my goals accordingly.
Yeah, and you know, Taylor, right now, as you're beginning, because you obviously have really good communication skills, there's two things that should be at the highest on your list is understand your message to market, right? First and foremost, this needs to be something that you practice. When somebody talks to you and says, "Oh my God, you're in real estate? How is the market?" You need to intelligently be able to answer that question. Second part is that you need to practice a buyer's consultation to where you can just flow with anybody, because who you're mostly going to be working with right now is going to be buyers. And yeah, obviously you'll take a listing if that listing opportunity comes to fruition. But right now, you need to understand how to do a buyer's consultation, right? So all of the other stuff is just stuff right now. What we need to understand is like, how do I actually take a client from start to finish throughout an entire buyer's consultation? How do I review the disclosures? How do I review the reports? How do I talk about the comps? How do I develop a strategy that's going to allow them to understand exactly how I get offers accepted in this competitive landscape? Message to market and buyer's consultation is where you should focus right now. And then for social media, that part of it's simple. All you need to do is just document everything that you're doing, right? The good, bad, and the ugly, how you're learning, how you're managing the kids in the background, the things that you're picking up, one thing that you learn from coaching. Document the journey until you figure out, okay, cool, here's a video that I actually want to create. So keep it really simple right now, and you'll feel that you're making actual progress. So good stuff. It's great to have you on. I appreciate you being here. Natalie, let's go to you. Key takeaways from our time together today.
So I'm feeling a lot like Taylor. I think I'm having trouble articulating exactly like where I need to go, because like what Aaron said, I feel chaotic for sure, just being pulled in so many different directions. But I'm definitely, message to market and broker buyers consultation is what I'm going to be focusing on. Like I have a list of things to do, just taking away from what everyone has said, brokers tours, going to houses. Those are all things I can do this week, and go to open houses. So
that's right. Those are things that are within your control, you guys. Go out there. Let's do this. Let's blow it up this week. Like, let's all of us, a minimum of 5 houses, we all go out there and tour. Think about the content that you guys are going to get. Right? Think about the content. If Taylor's out there, and Natalie's out there, and Hugo's out there, and Sierra's out there, and Blessing is out there, and Jay's out there, and Angelina's out there, we're all creating content. Guess what? You guys look like you're hella busy. It's a really, really positive thing. Go out there, document, take notes, be aware, do a quick little video at the local coffee house. Just go out there, have some fun, you guys. Move your needle this week. Be very, very clear with intention of what is actually going to move you forward this week. Now, before we head out, I want to do a lights, camera, action. On Friday in the Oakland office, we are going to do a content day. Now, this is content, writing, hook writing, confidence building, and then actual shooting in the booth. This is our opportunity to come together and say, okay, I know we're all challenged with creating content, coming up with the hook. Let's write it out. Let's practice. And then let's go into the booth and actually create some content. And then I'll show you guys how to use the shredders and all of that. So I'll put that on the calendar right now. It's going to be from 11 to 1 o'clock in our Oakland office, writing, confidence boosting, and then actually going in there and shooting the content. We're going to do that for 2 weeks in Oakland. Then we're going to move out to Sacramento, and we're just going to start doing this to get you guys on camera, build your confidence, and then build your writing skills for your hooks. So I'll put that on the calendar now. Hopefully I'll see you guys on Friday. We got a special guest on Wednesday. Be on the lookout for that information. But you guys, thank you for being here. Have an amazing, amazing day. As always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and crush your week. Peace.